In this video, I am going to show you how to do myofascial release around spine. Especially, I am going to show you the release around spinal process and transverse process. Basically, this area. You can work on this technique on the lumbar spine or thoracic spines. But I avoid working on the cervical spine because that can give too much compression for cervical spine. That's why I don't do this technique on cervical spine. Okay, let me show you on the lumbar spine. Wow, okay. I use the flat surface of the ulna. I don't use this part that may hurt spine and fascia. Okay, I put this part in between pointy part and flat area, this area. I put the bony part beside spinal process. I don't want to compress the spinal process directly. That is also painful. So beside spinal process, because there are many erector spine muscles. Okay, sink in. Imagine there's back muscles here. Sink into the fascia and wait until fascia reacts. You can do it same thing on thoracic spine. Feel the spinal process. Put elbow beside spinal process. Sink into the fascia and wait until fascia reacts. As I said, I don't want to compress cervical spines. That's why I don't do this technique on the cervical spine. Now let me show you on the real person. Now, this is spinal process. You find the tight place, then that's where you want to work. This is spinal process. Remember, I don't put elbow directly on the spinal process. That's painful. So I avoid spinal process. Let's say this is spinal process. Now I put elbow beside spinal process. Okay? Spinal process. Put elbow beside spinal process. Now I am on the erector spines. Sink into the fascia. Sink into the fascia. Then wait until the fascia reacts. Be careful when your client has spondylolisthesis or back injury. I avoid doing this technique because this technique compresses the spines. If person has spondylolisthesis, this technique can worsen the symptoms. So I avoid this technique for back injury or after the surgery. Now you can apply this technique for thoracic spine. Spinal process, beside spinal process. Sink in. Wait until fascia reacts. But this is good myofascial release for back muscles like erector spines or multifidus. These muscles are very important to keep posture upright. That's it. You find spinal process. Don't put elbow directly on the spinal process. It's beside the spinal process. So this is it. If you liked today's video, please hit the like button, comment and subscribe. See you next video.